welcome for joining us today. And I'm going to start the presentation. We'll start our discussion with the preparation of strategy. What is our preparation strategy for the strategic case study, which is the last exam, and it's very competitive, very challenging, and very, very interesting as well. So we'll see what is the exam format. We will see the exam duration, what is the exam date, what are the exam, where the exams are conducted, and exam and study tips we will see. And in the last, of course, you can ask your questions related to exam, related to CIMA itself or strategic case study. Before I go ahead with the technical information related to the paper itself, I will introduce myself. My name is Dr. Musa Sheikh. I am an FCMA and cgma, and so I am being in this profession last 20 years. I have a lot of qualified students with me in management accountancy. So I make sure that I will first explain you what is the structure of the CIMA, because sometimes our students are coming from a pathway route, so they are not familiar about the course itself. So this is very important that you should know. So as you can see that there are 3 boxes in each level, and it is top up with a case study. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. So these are 4 boxes. So you are talking about another 16 subjects, and the strategic case study is the last one. Yeah, I mean, it's not that mandatory that you should know the course structure, but just for your information, we can easily go through that, how the CIMA examination strategy is based on. So you can see that we have E3, P3, and F3. So we have E1, E2, and this is the last level, which is E3. Now, it's very interesting that you can have your a good concept of strategic management. We have the risk management, and we have financial strategy. So your case is actually shaped like this. So your question number 1 is related to strategic management. Your question number 3 is related to risk management, and your section B, like part B, is more related with financial strategy. Yeah, this is very interesting highlights of your strategic level. So when we say a strategy, so strategy has 3 types. So we have operational strategy, we have management strategy, and then we have a strategy for the board, like the strategic management, which we called looking forward down the road for 10 years, 20 years. So that's more broad, but less numerical and less calculative. So the interesting part of our curriculum is that even if you are not good in calculation, you don't know the complex calculations like break-even analysis, CVP, working capital, or ratio analysis, you are still fine to go, because these all need to be provided to us, and we have to make a rational and strategic decision for ourselves. In terms of strategic management, the first topic that we generally study is the strategy process. So how the strategy process is working is very simple. Like, we define the stages, that what is the strategy, what we want to aim at, where we will fall. Even the case study will roll around that there is a company, they are into, say, New York, or they are in London, and they want to expand. So they are in a strategic thinking that what exactly need to be done. So that is also a very interesting thought if you are really creative in business and you prefer to think out of box. This is an interesting topic, strategy process. Analyzing the organizational ecosystem. This is also ecosystem is the word that we listen everywhere. Everyone is talking about ecosystem, environment, building an atmosphere involving your stakeholders. It may be for a technology, it will be for banking, it can be for finance, it can, any kind of function require an ecosystem. Generating strategic options are very important. What are those options? You will study in our case studies. You will see like sometime we need to expand, sometime we need to contract, sometime we need to see that where exactly the best option goes. So we will see how to generate, especially in these timings when there's a lot of uncertainty and there's a lot of unusual circumstances. We'll see how to make the strategic choices, and we'll see what are the strategic controls. And there is interesting discussion about blockchain, mixing strategy with technology, depending on, there are few cases. The last case that was gaming. Gaming is purely a technology, and before that there was an airport case. So technology in strategic management case study is having a nice weightage, and if we work on that, we will likely to pass in our first attempt. Now, moving forward, as a strategy, we have to cover the risk. So risk is always very important for a strategic manager like CFO, Director of Finance, CEO. So risk we have to cover, and there are so many risks in the world, but mainly we divide the external risk, internal risk. The risk that is coming because of our employees, our setup, our resources, our capability, that is different. And the other way around is external risk, that is market risk, what's going on, economy, currency rate, inflation, oil prices. So there's a lot of interesting connections between what we have, what we don't control, and we mix it up, and we predict in the exam that what will be the best strategy in order to see the risk management. So we see what is our quality of the governance. So when we will go through the case, he will always give you the board of directors, list of board of directors, their backgrounds. So if their backgrounds are relevant, we will say, yes, they are a good board. But most of the time, one or two directors, he deliberately says they are, say, for engineering, and they are doing some technology work. So there we need to criticize, so it will give a good exam weightage for you. Internal controls are really important, and we as a strategic level has to see that we have effective controls or not. Any point of time, no student should involve themselves into operational and other matters. Not at all. That's not a good idea. It's only strategy. I mean, we will go through the course. There will be a lot of exam tips. But only thing is very, very important, where a lot of students does mistakes, that they start calculating, trying to show numbers and show their calculative skills, which are actually not required in strategic management. Strategic management is 70% is your theoretical, your vision, the broader things. You can't go to the management operation level because that level has been already tested in CIMA exam. So this is the last exam. In last couple of years, cyber crime, cyber risk is creating a big problem for the large size corporations. So that's why it is very, very important that we work on cyber risk. So IT is going to do that, but we as a management, we need to make sure that we have effective cyber controls, and we have done an effective risk management related to cyber crimes, cyber risk, because previously thief used to come by himself or herself, or maybe a group, but now they enter through internet, they breach all the firewalls, they take your control of your servers, and they hack all the important information in a shape of a ransomware or in other kinds. So This is really important. And so we need to put extra cares. And in strategic management case study, yes, this is a very interesting topic where you are going to have a good insight about this. Moreover, we will discuss the financial strategy. Nothing can be possible without money. And effective use of money is financial strategy. From where we'll get the money, will be a listed company, are we issuing the bonds, are we getting the loans, from where we are getting the working capital. These are really, really important dimensions of our case study. So, so we will see what is the financial policy decision, means what we need to do, how to do, and what are the option choices, cost of capital, working capital, and equity, all these we will see. If we take loans, so what are the long-term funds that can be option? Obviously, it will vary from case to case, situation to situation, and we'll see the financial risk. That's very important, that if we are, so a lot of time we'll talk about merger and acquisition. So one company, you're a big company, you're acquiring a similar size small company or a competitor. So merger and acquisition risk are very, very important in strategic case study, which obviously we are going to explain you. It is going to give you an immense high-end CFO, director finance knowledge, which I'm sure that very few candidates will have such a brilliant knowledge before. And business valuation, to value a business, is also very, very important part of our curriculum and case, because if I want to buy a business, I need to value. So valuation as method means, should I value on profit? Should I value on asset? Should I value on sales? And like, for example, nowadays, whenever we acquire a tech company and they have recurring clients, so I multiply with, say, 36 months income. I'll see what offer I need to give. So there are valuation methods that also need to be used in our case study. So these are very, very important 3 dimensions. This curriculum is the base of your exam, and these are the sections. Section 1, Section 2, Section 3. Every section has multiple parts, which I'm going to explain. He's going to explain you the summary, like each. So let's talk about exam. So we have 5 core activities. What are these 5 activities? These are A, B, C, D, and E. This already I explained you in 3 categories. So 3 portion, 5 activities. That's how it works. But you can see that there's a business strategy ecosystem. This is 1. Financial strategy, 1. And risk management and internal control, this is 1 portion. So actually 3 portion has been sub-allocated into 5 sections. So there will be 3 questions and 5 activities, 5 sub-questions related to risk, finance, ecosystem, strategy, and internal control. Then you can see the exam weightage is equal. So it's like, and you need to score 50% in your exam. So in marks terms, 80 marks, 50% of the exam. So let's talk about the study material, like what material we generally use. So we have our Berkeley study notes, which are really effective based on yearly, you can say, year and years interaction. We have all this curriculum that is divided into 50 units, and I will just go through with it. Actually, I already explained when I was explaining the syllabus, but this is 1-to-1. So business models and business ecosystem. What are the ecosystem? How it develop? What is the primary, secondary levels? What are the stakeholders? What are the objective of the organization? How stakeholder analysis and strategy work? Strategy formulation process, analysis of the business ecosystem, and drivers of economic business ecosystem. This I already explained. Big data is also getting popular. Facebook, LinkedIn, they have huge databases. and they're making billion of dollars from this kind of data. So what is data and what is data usage? This is very important in our strategic management. We'll see the business valuation, business finance. We are going to see that is this company is going to give you a return on investment as a dividend policy, strategic controls and change management. This is what we need to see. Corporate finance means good governance, corporate structure, where you need committees, where you need to define audit committee, risk committee, and internal control committees, budget committees, remuneration committees. These all need to be explained and understood because this is a very important area of our case study. Risk identification, how we identify a risk, how to scale it, high impact, low impact, risk mapping, management, all these internal auditors does, and we need to see from the strategy point of view, internal audit, risk, cyber risk, and because most of the time we acquire asset over the boundaries in other countries, so it creates a foreign exchange risk. That's really, really important. So very, very fabulous content that we will go through. So what is included in our study material? So I'll give you a case study which you will receive from CIMA directly as a student. So we generally receive the case 1 week before or a couple of days before, and we prepare the possible questions. So once we open the classes, what we do is we analyze the case, and we start preparing you for facts and figures and the possible questions, keeping the text that you had in your mind. So it's a very classic composition of pre-scene study text, our summarized analysis regarding case, and then we mix it with Kaplan. Kaplan is the oldest publisher in terms of CIMA stuff. CIMA books, CIMA curriculum, and this is really, really effective. I'm also passed from Berkeley and Kaplan books, so I'm really have full trust, and all our trainers like me, we have full trust in our the case study analysis and the Kaplan books. And the important and the key edge that we have here, which may be not available elsewhere, is a very personalized focus with mock testing. So we try to give you a lot of mocks, like 10 to 15 mocks. I mean, minimum 5, depending on students. So if we start taking the mock test, we start helping you sorting out things in a clear way. And then what we do is we test them. So some students does very good, some they don't do very good. So once they are not doing good, we add extra mock exams in them. So this is really interesting that we need to know. Yeah, so the pre-scene for August 2022 is related to the food industry. So this is the typical way a case comes to you when you receive it 6 weeks before the exams. So it's like a 30-page, 32 pages, sometimes 31 pages booklet, which is having standard the standard content. So it'll give you an introduction, then it will move to the fast food industry. What is fast food industry? How big it is in $1 billion, and home deliveries because of COVID. Everything has changed, so more home deliveries are going. Then we will see the company introduction, snack wheel, IT system. So IT system, then we have to see the couriers, how they do the transportation. This is standard. So every time the industry will change in CIMA exams, but the format will remain same. So you need to know about company, industry, IT system, how they dispatch, courier, extracts from annual report. Now this is for your financial analysis. I told you your section. Then board of director. This is for risk management. They always give you a list of both members, and you have to see are they good, bad, what they do, how they do. Then we do the principal risk assessments. He tell you a few risks, and in the exam we have to tell them that these risks are not enough. We have extra risks to handle. So what are those risks? we will discuss and prepare. Extract from competitor, very important. You can't analyze based on your own success. You have to compare it with your competitors. Very, very important. So very, very interesting. Also, I saw what students generally does. They see financial statements, they start quickly calculating the ratios and remembering the formulas. That's not required at all. We will give you a format, how things need to be done. Share price is very important because share price shows that your company is in demand, giving returns to the shareholder or not. This all we will see. What is the average share capital and effect on shareholder strategy. This will be combined from this information. And in every case, we'll see that there are extra information. So new things, what can affect the business, because it's a strategy. Suppose you have a carpet cleaning business and there is a new machine coming in the market which will revolutionize the existing business. So that can be a threat to your existing business. So he also gave you news stories, extract from some magazine newspapers, and we will link it. We use this information in the text. So it's a very interesting pre-scene, very interesting industry, and very easy calculations. Not calculations, mean analysis, because food is something that we always consume. If you are in UAE, you use Talabat or you use Zomato. If you're in Saudi Arabia, you use Noon or others, Amazon, Uber Eats. So this is something very interesting. Maybe after I remember when I was giving my exam, it was a case study. And I was very fascinated. I want to do that business, after my exam, because I can see the great potential in this case study. So this is very important that food industry has to be taken in consideration. So let's move forward. No need to read me for the case, because once the students will join, we will go through the cases in detail. Strategic case study exam, what is the strategy is you don't need to, so that your success will be that you have a summarized sheet that we will give you and it is in your mind. We need to read and memorize the important fact of the pre-scene case study. That's very, very important. And it required you 5 hours to read the case in detail, and another 5 hours to summarize. And it's on your memories, like you can read it every day, every week, whenever you get time. It's not that tedious also. Make your notes from the Kaplan, we'll give you the notes. Read the study notes that we give you and do mock. Very important that you do the mocks, because mocks can change the environment. Yeah, so you must be asking that what is the duration of the exam. So it is 3-hour exam. Very nice, 3 hours. As it will start, after 3 hours, you will realize, oh my God, time is finished. So 3 hours is nothing. It is nothing, I'm telling you. As it starts, you will see, 3 hours finished. So very interesting. First section will come, which is 60 minutes, means 1 hour, and you will have 2 questions, which has a weightage of 60% and 40%. As percentage is higher, so we need to write more. So 60% means more points, 40% means less points. Section 2 is 1 task, 60 minutes, 2 subtasks, means 2 questions, 50-50. So financial portion, both questions are 50-50 weightage, equal writing you have to do. And section 3 is 3 questions. You can see 33, and 1 is round off as 34. So they will be equal small questions. And as I told you, so all British exams, CIMA, CA, they work on 50% to pass. So and 50% pass, honestly, is not a big deal. If you follow our instructions, our experience, you utilize, and with little practice, you will be a CMA and a CGMA, which is going to change the life as a professional. Yeah, this is how the exam looks. Same I explained you, this is a window, a real exam window, blue and white. If you like blue color, it's nice. You can't change in the exam. It will purely like that. Move forward. Yeah, so if you do a very bad paper, you will be level 1. Your marks will be 1 to 3. If you do good, clear, sensible discussion, you will get 4 to 7. And level 3 is for our students. The way we prepare them, they fall between 8 to 10, means they are very sensible. So I will give you just a small tip. As a strategic managers, we don't take positions. So if I'm analyzing, I will say this is good, this is good, this is bad, this is bad. And we will propose to we will not conclude anything. Make sure. This is, I will explain you, or other teachers will explain you, that as a strategic manager, we don't take any position. We say this is good and bad, this is good and bad, option A, option B. Now board has to look into. So we don't take any position. That's a really important point. Some students get excited. They see, oh, this is the thing, and they start writing in a direction. It doesn't sound to us strategic managers. Strategic managers, they don't take any positions. They give a strategy, direction, planning, but the board has to decide what to do. Yeah, so these are 3 levels. Yeah, so generally a student asks that your exam is the same. Answer is no. So there are 3 variants, depending, like whenever your exams will come, it will go 3 days. So let's say day 1 is your exam, it will be different. Day 2 exam will be different. Day 3 the exam will be different. But doesn't matter. All exams are based on weightage, information, curriculum. Nothing is surprised or is planned. So it doesn't matter. Your exam comes on day 1, day 2, day 3, but they have 3 different variants, and they have 3 different question sets. Yeah, so what are the exam dates? Now the next exams are coming in August. So we are somewhere in the mid of the June, so July and August. Handsome time, ample time, nothing you need to crack down on your schedule. We need your weekends and a couple of hours in the week for revision. Things will be all in your control. So exam bookings are open from 9th February, and they're going to close 9th of August. And in between, we will complete your document formalities. And you can see that if you give your exams in August end, so September and October 13. So after 6 weeks approx, you will get your results, because CIMA has very strong quality checks, and they check your exams very minutely. So, and these are all written responses. Computer testing is not impossible. So make sure that 6 weeks, the result will be in your hands. Generally, student asked, now they are in Dubai, they lose the job, they went to UK, States, maybe India, Pakistan, or maybe Egypt, maybe Jordan. So where they can give exam, you can give exam anywhere in the world. Pearson View Center is extremely big. They are every country, most of the big cities they are operating. It's a computer-based exam. In COVID, it was going in home. Maybe there's an option still at home. So whatever is suitable, you go to the center, you will be sitting in a place, they will give you a computer, and you will be sitting 3 hours. Or if it is in home, you have to allocate one room, you have to lock it, and you have to see how things, there should not be around you. They will test you in the beginning, and then there's someone, proctor, who is going to monitor you for 3 hours. So both options are available.
You have already explained each and every aspect of this exam. I wanted to add a few things that maybe when you saw this whole conversation or this case study, and maybe there are a lot of things are coming in your mind regarding this case study, what will be, how it will be, how we will do that, or how it will be done. So I just wanted to give you one comfort level. This is like your real life working, where you are working in an organization. You are facing routinely these type of tasks from your managers, from your bosses, that we need this report related to some proposals we have on hand. We have to analyze those things. So similarly, this exam will go when you will attempt this exam. As a tutor, I will try my best, and I did in the past as well, because of my experience, and as a teacher, and I have around 20 years experience of our industry. I can give you the tips how to, first of all, understanding of the case study is very, very important. As you are working in your organization, so you already knows about who your boss, who is in the accounts department, who is working in an HR department, who is your chairman, who is your IT manager. Similarly, this case study will give you all the information about all these employees, the managers who are working with you as well. So, and then we have to analyze what are our strategies currently, what are our products, what we are selling, what is the competitor selling, are we are better than the competitor, are we are a bit behind, and all of these things we will give you the exact strategy to pass this exam as well. This exam is tough, but it is not impossible to pass. A lot of students pass this exam in a first attempt, even they don't have any CIMA background as well. They utilize their real life experiences, and also when we give them a lot of these notes, study notes, and we give a lot of practice as a mock test, and at the end of the day they pass their exam in the first attempt.